Dev, I want to bring you back in. What do you think of Turkey as the mediator in this conflict, a neutral side? Any thoughts?
Ah, yes, I mean, Turkey wants to play this role. Turkey wants to enhance its, position geopolitically. Erdogan looks himself as, a statesman who's bridging the east and the west and the north and the south, whatever it be. Turkey wants to increase its influence in the Islamic world, so this higher profiling helps it. The issue is that the de facto leader of the Islamic world, in a way, is Saudi Arabia, which has backpulls and backpulls and backpulls of money. Turkey wants to be the leader, but Turkey has zero money to give, let's say, right, to anyone. So what Turkey tries to do in the Islamic world, in a way, is positions itself to be the leader of the Islamic South. As you would see that, Turkey does its outreach among Central Asian republics, Pakistan, wherever, on various things. So, but back to this, and Turkey is, NATO. So Erdogan is enhancing his role, and any venue which becomes, any location which becomes the venue of such meetings, I think it does somewhat enhance that location, especially if the country is a geopolitical aspirant or player. If these same meetings were happening, let's say in Switzerland, maybe, right? That would be okay because Switzerland doesn't want to show itself as a, world leader of sorts, fine. But happening in Turkey, or let's say yesterday, Trump's meeting in Saudi Arabia with Syria. I mean, these are huge statements coming which raise the profile of the host countries. So Turkey is looking to leverage that in terms of its positioning. So big picture, yes, it gives. I mean, point being that Turkey, Erdogan or his emissaries are talking to the Americans. So you're playing with the big players. Point is, you're playing with the big players, and that's what Erdogan wants, and that's what it brings to Turkey. How it leverages that in some other context, well, that we'll see. But it does bring some enhanced standing for Erdogan and Turkey.
Yes, we've just got some breaking news coming in. Istanbul peace talks have been delayed to start later today. This is the Russian Foreign Minister's spokeswoman who has claimed this. Talks delayed to start later on today. We also have some more news. Shruti Das Gupta. When Donald Trump was asked if he was attending, he would and asked if Putin was attending. He answered, "Why would Putin go if I'm not going?" That's what he said. Where does this show that? Does this mean that the US is truly a neutral mediator?
Understands Putin's point of view much better than Zelenskyy does. That is what the statement says. Trump understands that Putin is a global leader. He brings with him a lot of force when it comes to the geopolitical stance. So if Zelenskyy wants to equate himself to Putin, that would be his folly. And that's not a trap that US falls into very easily. So Trump, when he says that if I'm not going, then why would Putin? He understands that Putin does not view Zelenskyy as the leader of Ukraine. And he does not view Zelenskyy as the person whose final claim on the war is final word on the war is going to be honored. It is Trump's whose word is going to be honored. As the minute US pulls out, so do the NATO nations. It is no longer going to be. It is going to be a one-sided war, easy victory. So he knows that as long as he's there, Putin will come. If he doesn't come, then Putin's not going to show up. Zelensky's presence on that table is just optics, as Sachdev sir had said before.
Rabinder Sachdev, obviously, in amidst all this diplomatic drama, a real war is taking place behind the scenes here. Just today, we saw a Russian missile strike near the city of Sumy, which killed 3 people, along with Putin not showing up to these talks and Russia escalating hostilities seemingly. How do you think the international community is going to view this? You still believe that Putin does want peace in this war?
I mean, end of the day, sometime, yes, Putin wants peace or would want perhaps a halt to this operation, but in the bigger vision, which is said to be a Putin or what Europe accuses him, he will not rest till all of Ukraine is with Russia, right? But that is the fear out there for the Ukrainians and the Europeans, and especially the Eastern Europeans like the Polish and all. But that aside, Putin, I think, is playing it in a way that, yes, engaging in the talks, but meanwhile, their military grinder, in a way, slow grinding, continues. So the war does continue. How the world reacts, the world has done its best what it could. It's been 3 years or more. The world is tired, but it depends upon how tired or fatigued are the Europeans. Americans seem to be tired out, and they not only tired out, it doesn't suit their philosophy or foreign policy of Trump, but it's the Europeans perhaps who are, one figment there. I would hark back to another big picture discussion we were having about Russia and its role and all. I absolutely agree with Shruti that, Russia has managed to come out well, but you see, it has been hugely, diminished. The reason I say, remember, starting days of the war, 50 kilometers of tanks going in, they never reached Kiev. I mean, that is a disaster for a superpower, right? Moscow, the flagship of the Black Sea Fleet, gone. Finland and Sweden joined NATO, right? So Russia has been diminished. That is my assessment. In many ways, though, of course, not diminished militarily in terms of strategic and bottom line, it's as good as it was. Maybe, in fact, by the way, Russia has started innovating pretty fast during this war, especially in areas like drones. They got caught, with a huge technology gap. So they've gone back to, quickly, fill that gap and innovate and improve their weapon systems. But Russian weapon systems have been shown to be probably, old design and not capable of modern warfare, some of them, right? So that's it. But yeah, Russia is very much out there. So Putin doesn't seem to be tired. Putin seems to be, or Russia seems to be, as I said earlier, grinding on, and they would like to maybe seek maximum mileage, both in terms of the optics and in terms of the miles of the ground, perhaps, till the time such a ceasefire is or a pause is announced. And apparently, as of now, it's a 30-day pause being discussed. So I think as of now, the chances of what if there could be a pause, I think as you're reporting yourself that the meeting has been delayed, as we were earlier also talking, and maybe it starts today evening, tomorrow, but then who all are there in it? Will something happen and suddenly you see Trump coming down there and Putin coming down there? Would that happen? I don't know. But unless that happens, as I think it seems, it will be more a working meeting of sorts, more a probing and this thing of sorts. It would not lead to any decision, perhaps.
Yes, we have some more information for you once again, more from French Foreign Minister Jean